I'm a grandchild. My name is Sue London. My life is a cognitive behavior therapist and a less mental health counselor. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the contents in this channel. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions. With his siblings, Hunter and Maisie, all attending the University of Idaho together. Hunter and Maisie and their parents, Jim and Stacy, now telling their story in a new Prime Video docuseries, One Night in Idaho, The College Murders, remembering their 6'4", larger-than-life brother and son.
We played every sport together. Every time we went in the car, it was together. Partied together. There was never a dull moment.
The night before Ethan was killed, Maisie brought him to her sorority formal. She now cherishes the text he sent her before bed.
So he started off by texting me. I think he said, "Dog, come hang out. We all want you here." And I said, "I'm going to bed." And then he said, "Love you." And I didn't even respond to that. I think I was asleep by then.
And the "I love you" kind of stood out, though.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Hunter, who pledged Sigma Chi with Ethan, says the next morning a friend at the fraternity woke him up saying the police were at Xana's house.
Hunter Johnson came up to me and said, I was like, "Where's Ethan and Xana?" And he's like, "They're not here anymore." So like, "What do you mean they're not here anymore?" He's like, "I think they were murdered last night."
Hunter was forced to call his family with the news, his parents in disbelief.
This was Xana and Ethan's room. Trigger warning. Xana was found on the floor and Ethan was found halfway on the floor in bed. I wonder what happened. Dateline said that Ethan's legs were carved. Why does it sound like these victims were unfortunately tortured? This is heartbreaking. I don't think Brian Kohlberger or one person just came in and started unaliving 4 people. I believe this was 3 separate groups, because 3 unidentified DNA, male DNAs, were found on the scene. That always leads me back to the Davids. They were the sober watch that night. David B was. And we know that David B was Ethan's tutor and he was having a hard time educating Ethan. They just didn't like each other. And his friend David L wanted Xana for himself. So there was a lot of brewing beef. According to 4chan Anonymous, it could be totally false. But many things that Anonymous has said makes 100% sense. That's the only thing actually that makes sense in our theories. I don't believe Xana ordered any DoorDash. I've said that from the beginning. I believe somebody ordered it on her name. And why do I just have a feeling that when Molly said that they were ducking and hiding themselves, a girl with brown hair, why does it make me believe like the unalivings were happening? And they don't want Molly to see that. Just a thought. Quite strange that Molly couldn't find their address. Are all these people linked? Is my question. Somebody took down Ethan first, a couple of people, and then they carved his legs so that he couldn't defend himself or Xana. Or furthermore, Maddie and KAYLEE. He couldn't defend himself. Poor man. Do you all remember that DM and BF said to each other? BF said to DM on the text that night, Zana was wearing all black. Could that be Zana? She rests in peace. It clearly looks like people. Why aren't they explaining? The whole, why aren't they being transparent with us, is what I mean. Because they aren't explaining the correct timelines. There's no autopsies. It's not like we want to see the autopsies, but it's important to know the results. And it's impossible that the autopsies came back clean. Especially the toxicological report. We could see number 9 putting something in Maddie's mouth. Some of us could see that. And we could see that the girls were intoxicated. So where are the autopsy reports? Because in the beginning, rumors were going on from the college. Even Dave told us that people were saying it on the WhatsApp and Snapchat group chats that this was an OD. So are they hiding the autopsy results from us? Hunter was roaming around with the knife himself. And he put it on the table later on when the police went upstairs. Why did he look so... I can understand he's shocked, but something wasn't right about Hunter. And DM said clearly, she clearly said that she woke up at 9 a.m. So why didn't she go and check upstairs? If her roommates were not answering the phones, didn't she recall her memory? Didn't she remember that KAYLEE was running around for help? 9 to 10, 12. She took 3 hours more to call 911. This should be a federal crime. One of my other red flags, major red flags, is that when DM said she was running down to BF's room, she saw KAYLEE lying on the floor. Is she trying to say she didn't bother to check where Ethan was? Besides that, she ended up in BF's room, they locked the room, and she told Gunderson that she got up at 9 a.m. So if you got up at 9 a.m., why wouldn't you check on your friends, on your roommates? And if they didn't answer, why didn't you call Hunter and whoever she was going to call? Why didn't she call them earlier? Why did they waste 3 hours from 9 to 12? This is the time the Snapchat, group chat and all were texting each other, were sharing messages, were talking about what the motive could have been, who were the targets, who were the victims. I find that to be odd. And let's not forget, DM said she saw the suspect leaving. So she actually saw someone in the house. Somebody with black clothing and a ski mask. And she woke up at 9 a.m. and she still didn't bother to call law enforcement. Ethan and Zana were not seen after 1:45 at the Sigma Chi fraternity. But according to Zana's father, Jeffrey Canodal, he said that he spoke to his daughter at midnight and she was at home. She told him, "I'm going to stay at home and chill at home, Dad." So could Zana have been just trying to get her dad off her back? Was she lying to her dad? Or could Zana have gone to the Sigma Chi fraternity party just for a while and then the fight broke out? I personally believe there were many people that were jealous of this couple, the love they had for each other. They were really happy, kind people, according to everyone who's been interviewed. Zana was a very lively person. Zana used to love to have gatherings. So did they invite someone that they shouldn't have? Or did they get caught up in drugs or something? This is a severe case for it to be something minor. I'm sure it's more complex than that. I'm sure drugs, jealousy, revenge, rituals, and many other evil things are involved. It's heartbreaking. Ethan and Zana are sitting on the sofa in the living room, I believe. It's a black leather sofa. Could be somewhere else. Oh no, they're sitting on the sofa outside the backyard. That was where David Lodge was sitting too. May they rest in peace. I wonder if they were followed home. I don't think they were unalived in the property itself. They could have been carried to the property. I know it should be a bit messy and it sounds a bit strange, but when you look at what's going on and when you look at the crime scene, there isn't enough red liquid. Welcome back to my Mental Health and Crime channel. My name is Zuda London. I'd like to thank all my subscribers, my viewers, for all your kind wishes, for your comments. Very interesting comments that helped me to actually try and research further into some of the things you'll send me. Not everything obviously is going to be right, because we don't know actually what is right and what is wrong in this case at all. But it's worth checking everything, in my opinion, and I really do appreciate my subscribers sending me stuff. I really do appreciate that. Ethan and Zana. They were found on the floor, on the ground, or sorry, on the floor in Zana's room. I wonder if they were just, I hate to use that word, dumped on the floor. Were they brought from outside? Could they have been unalived outside and brought inside? And were they dumped at Zana's room, is my question. I've noticed one thing. DM and BF do not mention Ethan and Zana much. They do not even mention Maddie. Quite strange. So didn't they know what time Ethan and Zana came home? Is that what they're trying to say? Let's not forget, the back door sliding door was actually damaged, according to DM. It is not completely locked. And so was the front door. There was issues with it. Zana, his father, Jeff, was coming to fix the door. And I'm sure it was Zana's room door. It couldn't have been the outside door because that is the landlord's job to do it. You need permission from the landlord to change the main outside door. So when you know that your door is not proper and it's not locking, we usually, at least me, myself, I wouldn't have slept peacefully. I would have been awake all night until I get someone to come and solve my issue with the locks and the doors. How can you see having the front door and back door open after you saw a guy with a mask leaving your back door? Doesn't make sense. I wonder if the drink could have been spiked. KAYLEE and Maddie were sharing a drink. I'm sorry for the video because that is what was basically released. A couple of seconds or a minute video of KAYLEE and Maddie, but they did look happy. Could it have been possible that KAYLEE, a stalker, could have been at the corner club? Because if you remember what the manager at the vape store said to Brian Anton on News Nation, he said that KAYLEE would come here with Maddie and all her friends, and Maddie told her that we're trying to keep KAYLEE safe by not leaving her alone. KAYLEE had a stalker, that's what Maddie said to him, and Maddie said one time KAYLEE saw the stalker at Main Road near the corner club, but it was a daytime. So if the stalker was stalking KAYLEE near the corner club, he could have been inside the corner club, in my opinion. And honestly, besides the stalker, we have Jack D. That is the issue himself. At least his professor finds him to be an issue, especially after the breakup with KAYLEE. This was too sudden. KAYLEE died 3 months after the breakup with Jack D. It doesn't settle well in with me because KAYLEE wanted the breakup, not Jack D. So I wonder what his reaction was. My question is, did Jack D go straight home? Like he said, because he's lying with his timeline. He was at the corner club until 1:39 at least. That was when the picture was taken with him, KAYLEE and Maddie. How come he answered the call and he said he answered it by mistake in his sleep? The call was on with KAYLEE for 17 minutes. What was up with Jack D? I personally don't believe he got over KAYLEE. I personally believe this was a crime of passion when it comes to KAYLEE. KAYLEE was a beautiful young girl. Somebody really wanted to disfigure her face. Trigger warning. She had a stalker. She had issues with the sororities, allegedly. Jack D wasn't taking the breakup well. Poor KAYLEE. Two weapons were allegedly used on KAYLEE, if you think of it. Two weapons. That shows you it's not one person. One suspect wouldn't be using two weapons. Somebody personally came there for KAYLEE. KAYLEE and Ethan were the two main targets. I've always said that. Especially when it comes to Jack S. He had beef with KAYLEE, and he's pretending he doesn't know KAYLEE. Hunter is pretending he doesn't know KAYLEE. Isn't that interesting? And let's keep in mind that it was DM that invited KAYLEE to come back that night. It had to happen on the 13th of November. So they planned for KAYLEE to be there, I believe. This was 2 weeks right after Halloween. And we all know what happened in Halloween with DM, Maddie, and Zano. I believe they changed their timelines to make BK fit in. BK was there, definitely. I do believe BK was there. But I don't believe BK had any purpose, any motive, or any target to do these crimes. I believe he was there for a totally different reason. I don't know what. It could be drugs. He was under addiction for 5 years, and it's easy to relapse. He could have been called there to be set up by DM and BF. Why did he ask for BF? Why did he say BF has escapatory evidence? Where's the escapatory evidence? If you all have been here since the beginning of the case, I believe you would remember, 7 to 8 months in the case, or maybe 10 months into the case, What's Obsession, a YouTube channel, mentioned that she used to talk to Hunter Johnson, and she was saying that the 911 callers are innocent, and Hunter and Emily are innocent, and she says she talks to the sororities and frats. If you'll remember, it's even on her channel. She made a clip right after that saying that she found out what the escapatory evidence was and that it leaked out in the grand jury. It was basically Bethany Funk saw a man with a black mask and black clothes outside a window. That was the escapatory evidence. And Bethany Funk's room is on the left side. That's why you can see the forensics concentrating more, there was a shoe print even, if I wasn't wrong, in front of BF's room. They were taking a lot of pictures in the start, so I don't know why they're not showing us the reports of what they were doing from the beginning. Maddie was with BF. She took the dog, Murphy, out, KAYLEE's dog, for a walk. It was for 19 seconds or 9 seconds, 10 seconds. That is what BF said. But then she said that was at 2:30, between 2:30 to 3 a.m. But BF said that Maddie came knocking at her room right after asking if BF saw Murphy. So was Murphy lured out? There's something to do with Murphy here. Murphy, the surviving roommates, would know everything. DM was even surprised. She told the police when they asked her about Murphy, she said, "Oh, did you find him outside? She said, did you find him inside? I heard him barking outside." So what was actually going on, DM? Please let me know what you'll think. But I think a stalker incident could have possibly happened, or a crime of passion with Jack D, allegedly. All these people lawyered up, got attorneys, Jack D, DM. I don't think we'll ever find the truth. Well, we can't give up hope. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank all my subscribers. Have a lovely week.